What's really interesting about this is how quick thinking can mean the difference between success and disaster. Imagine you're in a high-stakes situation, maybe at work, in a negotiation, or just trying to think on your feet during a tough conversation. What do you do when the pressure is on? That's where today's episode comes in. Lupin the Third isn't just a legendary anime character. He's the embodiment of wit, adaptability, and quick thinking in any tough situation. The man can escape from locked vaults, outmaneuver the world's greatest detective, and still crack a joke while doing it. I spent hours breaking down the moments when Lupin's razor-sharp mind turns impossible situations into thrilling escapes. If you ever felt stuck, frozen in the face of a challenge, or just wish you had a little more confidence, this episode is for you. Because thinking fast isn't just about intelligence, it's about mindset, creativity, and staying calm under fire. If you want to know how to sharpen your ability to think on your feet, it's... I'm so glad you're here, Zenroku family. Every time you show up, you take a step towards growing, learning, and leveling up your mindset. And I respect that so much. Have you ever been in a situation where you needed a quick response, but your brain just froze? Just like that? Maybe it was a tough question in an interview, or debate with a friend, or a problem that required fast solution. If you have, you're not alone. Welcome to Momentum Mondays on the Zenroku Podcast Network. I'm Michael Yerby, your personal development expert and anime junkie, and I want you to show your support by hitting the subscribe, liking, and sharing this episode with your friends. Last week, we explored how Vinland Saga helped me find purpose in pain. We broke down Thorfinn's journey from revenge to self-discovery and how pain, when embraced, can be a powerful force for transformation. We discussed how suffering can redefine you, how loss forces self-reflection, and why struggle is often the foundation for finding your purpose. If you missed that episode, be sure to check it out. It's a game changer. What we will discuss today is how Lupin the Third teaches us the power of quick thinking and adaptability. Lupin consistently finds himself in impossible situations, yet his ability to stay calm and think fast turns obstacles into opportunities. Then we explore how creativity and wit can help you overcome any challenge. Lupin's success isn't just about luck, it's about his ability to reframe problems and think outside the box. Finally, we'll break down the mindset behind quick decision-making, whether staying composed under stress or making snap decisions. Learning to think fast can change the way you approach your life. Now let's dive into the first major lesson. Lupin the Third teaches us about quick thinking and see why adaptability and a sharp mind are the ultimate tools for handling tough situations. The power of quick thinking and adaptability. You won't believe this, but Lupin the Third isn't about heists and hijinks. It's a masterclass in adaptability. From breaking into impossible vaults to escaping tight situations with mere seconds to spare, Lupin thrives in chaos.
Here we go again.
One of the best examples is when he's cornered by the relentless Inspector Zingara, trapped on a rooftop while nowhere else to run. Instead of panicking, Lupin used his environment, grabbing an umbrella, catching an updraft, and gliding away as he had planned it all along.
What is he doing?
He's beginning to believe.
The conflict here is clear. When most people would freeze, Lupin thrives, proving that quick thinking isn't about intelligence alone, but about confidence in uncertainty. This reminds me of the times when I was forced to think on my feet in the military. There are moments where hesitation wasn't an option, when decisions had to be made in an instant, whether it was adjusting to unexpected mission changes or finding solutions under high-pressure consequences and conditions. What I learned is exactly what Lupin embodies. When you trust yourself to adapt, no situation is truly impossible.
Wow, incredible!
Hey, I gotta quote Jay-Z. Difficult takes a day, impossible takes a what? a week. That mindset, that's a crazy mindset. And if you have that mindset, you'll be dangerous. Here's something that blew my mind. Lupin never fights the problem head on. He redirects it. There's an episode where he was caught in a laser security system, trapped between beams with no way forward. Instead of brute force forcing his way through, he grabs the mirror, bounces the lasers back to the sensors, and turns the trap against itself. The conflict here? Most people see obstacles as walls, but Lupin sees them as puzzles to be solved. His ability to shift his perspective and see opportunities where others see roadblocks is why he's always one step ahead. I've been in situations where I felt cornered, where it seemed like there was no way out of the problem, whether it was unexpected leadership challenges or career setbacks. But just like Lupin, I realized that the key isn't forcing a solution, but in rethinking the approach. That shift in mindset can turn even the toughest problems into something you can outmaneuver.
Emotional, damn it!
What's fascinating about this is how Lupin isn't afraid to improvise. One of my favorite moments is when he is escaping a high-speed chase with his car blocked from all sides. Instead of stopping, he does something ridiculous. He shifts into reverse at full speed, weaving through traffic as if he was meant to do it all along. The conflict here, most people overthink under pressure.
Stop it. Get some help.
But Lupin trusts himself to adapt on the fly. His ability to stay cool, make quick decisions, and keep moving forward has set him apart. This reminds me of moments in my career when I had to lead through uncertainty. I couldn't wait for the perfect answer. I had to act, adapt, adjust along the way. The truth is, you don't have to know every step of the solution, but you have to take action. You just have to be willing to make the first move and adjust as you go. Now that we've seen how Lupin's quick thinking and adaptability help him turn problems into opportunities, let's go deeper and explore how creativity and wit can help you navigate tough situations just like he does. How creativity and wit can help you overcome any challenge. Let me paint a picture for you. Lupin is locked inside a maximum security prison with zero chances of escape. The guards have triple checked the locks. The walls are reinforced and there's no way out. But instead of accepting defeat, he laughs because Lupin, every impossible situation has a loophole. He tricks the guards.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Into thinking he's already escaped by crafting a perfectly timed distraction, making them scramble while he simply walks out in the confusion. The conflict here, most people panic in tough situations, but Lupin trusts his creativity to find solutions others can't see. There is something I learned firsthand when being in a leadership role in the military. There were times where the rules felt rigid, the system felt unbreakable, and problems seemed like dead ends.
What the fuck?
But just like Lupin, I realized that most barriers aren't as solid as they seem. Sometimes the way out isn't about breaking the rules. It's about understanding them well enough to find the gaps no one else seems to find.
Wow.
Here's a twist you didn't see coming. Lupin doesn't just think creatively. He uses humor to stay ahead. There's a classic scene where he's running from the enemy, dodging bullets, and instead of running into fear, he starts cracking jokes mid-escape.
Do you see me f***ing laughing, my nigga?
The conflict, when facing with danger, most people just get rigid, stressed out, or overwhelmed. But Lupin stays loose, making it easier for him to adapt. And this isn't just about being funny. It's about using humor as a mental tool to stay calm under pressure.
Ah, you're teasing me. Naughty, naughty.
I've seen this work in my own life, whether it was an intense situation in the military or high-stakes professional moments. I found that humor wasn't just a coping mechanism, it was a way to stay present, stay creative, and keep a clear head.
Daddy, chill.
If you can laugh at the pressure, you stop letting it control you. This is gonna sound wild, but Lupin rarely works alone. His genius isn't just in his quick thinking, but in how he leverages the strengths of others. In almost every heist, he has Jingen and strategy of Gimo from Precision and Fujiko for deception.
Nice job, team.
He is the mastermind, but he knows that real success isn't about doing everything alone. It's about knowing who to bring into the mission, the conflict. Too many people try to handle tough situations by themselves, refusing to ask for help. But Lupin's success proves that having the right people in your corner isn't a weakness, it's an advantage. This reminds me of the times of managing teams. There were moments when I thought I had to handle everything alone.
I got you, homie.
But the biggest lesson I learned was that delegation and collaboration aren't just leadership tactics, they're survival skills. The quicker you realize that leaning on others makes you stronger, the quicker you find real success.
Good night, girl. I'll see you tomorrow.
Now that we've seen how creativity, humor, and teamwork help Lupin overcome any challenge, let's go even deeper and explore how you can develop a mindset for quick decision making in high pressure situations. The mindset behind quick decision making. Let me share something unexpected. Lupin doesn't hesitate. When faced with an obstacle, he trusts his instincts and commit. There are moments where he cornered on a bridge, enemy forces closes in and from both sides actually. And guess what? Instead of freezing up or overanalyzing, he jumps off the bridge without hesitation. Psych! Knowing he'll figure it out midair. The conflict, most people second guess themselves when the pressure is on, afraid of making the wrong decision. But Lupin proves that confidence in action is more important than waiting for a perfect plan. I've had moments where hesitation almost cost me an opportunity, whether in leadership, career moves, or even in my own personal life. The truth is, the longer you hesitate, the more options you lose.
Bruh.
The best way to think fast is to trust that you can adapt once you're in motion.
Got him.
What's even more amazing is that Lupin stays calm under pressure. There's a scene where he literally is handcuffed, blindfolded, and driving a car at high speed.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
And yet, he never panics. Instead, he slows his breathing,
Bruh, chill.
listens to his surroundings, and uses his instincts to maneuver safely. The conflict here, when things get overwhelming, most people freeze, shut down, or get overwhelmed by anxiety. But Lupin understands that the calmer you are, the sharper your mind stays. I've seen this firsthand in high-stress situations when everything around me was in chaos. The only thing that kept me effective was learning how to control my breathing, slow my thoughts, and focus on the next step.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
Not the entire problem. Staying calm isn't about ignoring the problem. It's about putting yourself in the best state to handle it. The craziest thing about this is that Lupin embraced failure as part of the process. He doesn't always get it right on the first try, but instead of seeing failure as a defeat, he treats it like a learning experience. There's an episode where he botches a heist and gets caught.
My disappointment is immeasurable.
But instead of dwelling on it, he analyzes what went wrong and improves for next time. The conflict. Most people let failure shake their confidence, making them afraid to take risks. But Lupin proves that every mistake is just data. It's feedback you can use to sharpen your instincts. I had my own shared failures, and for a long time, I let them hold me back. But the moment I started treating failures as a lesson instead of a personal defeat, everything changed. The best decision makers aren't the ones who never fail. They're the ones who use failure to refine their instincts for the next challenge. Now that we explore how Lupin's mindset helps him think fast, stay calm, and turn failures into learning opportunities, let's bring it all together and see how you can apply these lessons in your own life. Let me share something unexpected. Quick thinking isn't about being the smartest person in the room. It's about trusting yourself to act, adapt, and improve. We see how Lupin's adaptability allows him to turn obstacles into opportunities. He never sees a dead end, only a puzzle waiting to be solved. We explore how humor, creativity, and teamwork help him escape impossible situations. Lupin doesn't just rely on raw intelligence. He uses wit, reframes problems, and leans on others when needed. Finally, we break down the mindset behind quick decision making, trusting your instincts, staying calm under pressure, and learning from failure instead of fearing it. The truth is, thinking fast is a talent. It's a skill you can develop by shifting how you see challenges, stress, and even failure itself. With all these lessons on quick thinking, adaptability, and decision making, let's wrap things up with some final thoughts on how you can take these insights and apply them in your own life today. Have you ever had a moment when you wish you could think faster, react sharper, and stay cool under pressure? That's exactly what Lupin the Third teaches us. Lupin doesn't just get lucky. He builds his skills through experience, observation, and relentless problem solving. That's exactly what you can do too. I spent hours analyzing his methods, breaking down how his fast thinking works, and figuring out how he translates that into real-world lessons that you can apply to your life today. If you take just one thing from this episode, let it be this: that ability to think fast isn't about being perfect. It's about being prepared, staying flexible, and knowing that every challenge has a solution if you're willing to see it. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever had a moment where quick thinking saved the day? Drop a comment, send me a message, or share this episode with someone who needs to hear it. And don't forget, if you love this kind of breakdown, hit subscribe, like, and share so that we can keep growing this Roku family together. Until next time, keep adapting like Lupin, thinking creatively like a mastermind, and making every challenge an opportunity for growth. Peace.